Oh, well, it's a thin air swing. What an opportunity. A golden chance for Manji, who couldn't connect at all.
That's a really good movement to get the ball across the circle. Manji's gone back foot and swung, missed. What a chance that is.
Swung up towards the heavens, swung off his feet and has missed it. And if he puts that in the bottom corner, it all looks and feels so different at the end of the third quarter, but instead it is a scoreless third quarter. It's as you were at half-time, with 3 of our 4 quarters done in this second semi-final. It is India 1, Germany 4. And this Germany very much in pole position to meet Argentina in the final. And India, you've got to do something extraordinary now to avoid a third-place playoff encounter with France.
Well, the highlights from that third quarter, there was such an opportunity there that Germany didn't take in the end. It went past the near post. India came back into it with a couple of chances of their own, but Germany were dominating the spaces and forcing their opponents away from the goal mouth. That did get a little bit of a touch as Maxi Fant was trying to get in there. There was a brilliant bit of goalkeeping to deny India on the reverse, the spin from the German shot stopper. And here, that was the opportunity that would have got them back with some momentum before this last 15.
Manji unable to connect. And well, sometimes pictures only tell you so much, and given how animated and energetic particularly Indian hockey fans are known as being, those reactions are quite telling. Also incredibly intelligent and knowledgeable as a hockey crowd. They know about the excellence of this German team, and they know that this is going to take something quite extraordinary now. 15 minutes, and they've got to, I mean, they could score 4 and Germany would score 1. That would be quite something, but more likely they've got to score 3 unanswered goals to get us through to a shootout.
And the big question will be, when do they take off their goalkeeper? Because at the moment, let's look at the third quarter, for example, they didn't create enough chances in that third quarter to suggest that unless they do something significantly different, they're going to score 3 more goals. You always have to look at it in a balance of play. Have they created enough? Have they done lots and the goalkeepers played brilliantly? No. They've not consistently held the ball in high enough channels. So now, if they went early with the substitute, by taking off the goalkeeper, going to the 11 outfield players with maybe 10, 12 minutes to go, could they get that goal that gets them moving forward, gets the momentum? Germany then go, oh, what do we need to do differently? And then you start asking the questions. But I don't think they can wait until 5 minutes to go.
Well, you've started to answer your own question just as I was about to ask it straight back to you, which is, so from what you're saying, you would go pretty early. You might have gone even at the change of quarter, would you?
Yeah, if you're going to do that sort of thing, so often we watch it in the last 3 or 4 minutes of a quarter when teams have got maybe 1 or 2 goals. It's not long enough. Some of the stats, I think, and I'm not sure who's come up with them, but I've heard stats over the course of commentating over the last years of this job, is that you need 5 minutes per goal, basically. So if you're in a situation like this, you almost need the entire last quarter. So India haven't held the ball high enough. Yes, you've got that one save and then the swing and the miss towards the end of that quarter, but they've not been up in Germany territory, forcing them back. So why not? You're 4-1 down. If you're 5-1 down, there's very little difference in terms of what you've then got to achieve. So, you know what? Why not ask the question? That's a great bit of footwork, though.
And here come Germany on the break. Fine line. And this is the thing as well, that there is a certain element of pride of not wanting to lose by a bad-looking scoreline. But really, you know, goal difference doesn't make any difference. This isn't a group game, it's a knockout game. If you lose 6-1 having a go, it's better than losing 4-1 not.
And bizarrely, I actually think the Indian press, the crowd, knowing a little bit about Indian culture, they'd actually recognise that more than going, if they finish this game 4-1 and don't ask Germany any questions, everybody like, well, you just had no idea, you ran out of ideas, you didn't play to our cultural hockey heritage, you didn't, I've seen it in the press over the last 20 years, they get hammered. Whereas if they pulled the goalkeeper and went, you know what, we're going to give this a go. Let's put a centre forward, old school, on the penalty spot for the next 12 and a half minutes and see what Germany do in response.
Go down swinging as such.
Yeah.
Right now, no sign of that. Graham Reid and his coaching staff trying to work their way back in with a more conventional setup, but okay, miss that one out.
It is obviously very easy to have that opinion from sitting up here in the commentary box with no pressure at all. If you were the head coach going, well, if I'm going to get down 4-1, I can probably defend that. If I go down 7-1, it might be a difficult meeting on Monday morning.
Reid, of course, given the responsibility, taking charge for this tournament. Curry Pavel has been in charge of the juniors for the last couple of years. Germany finding space, of course, and that's inevitable because you're committing so many forward. Really, much as neutrals in the commentary box, we always prefer a close game, and who doesn't enjoy a shootout when you're neutral, so don't have to go through the emotional ringer of it. The signs of an actual tangible Indian comeback right now are few and far between, really. There's a bit of straw clutching if you're looking for suggestions that's going to happen, in truth. And of course, big year for hockey coming up in 2022. FIH Hockey Pro League action done across the men's and women's editions now after the calendar year fixture for the men's edition last Sunday with a young, exciting, fresh new Netherlands team beating a highly experienced Olympic gold winning Belgian side 2-1 in Amstelveen. But there's also the Women's Hockey World Cup coming up in 2022, co-hosted by Wagner Stadium in Amsterdam and the Stadi Olympic de Terrassa in Spain, the hockey venue for the Barcelona 1992 Olympics. Someone's going to try and stop Alison Ammon's conquering Netherlands side in that tournament. Good luck to them in doing so, because they'll need it. Now, it's a question of India find a way to stop this Germany side. Can they find a way to mount a comeback? But we saw it on those half-time stats. Saw the shot count at 2 for India. I don't feel like we've actually seen 1 or 2 in that third quarter, but I'm not even sure we did in terms of actual shots that demanded a save.
No, you would count that one-on-one save.
Here come Germany. Could be 5-1. And the keeper, Owen Smith, is off target. He'd gone round Pavan beautifully, and Valentin Altenberg applauds the intent, but I'm sure for a second he thought he was going to be applauding a 5th goal here.
Look at that pass. What a pass that is. Smith a little bit lucky as the ball falls kindly for him. That movement is superb to get round the outstretched, rushing goalkeeper. Altenberg knowing that's a really good bit of skill execution, just missing that final touch, but applauding the take and the movement.
There was an Indian player on the line, but it would have been an easy hit to make. Tamaka couldn't quite find a blue shirt.
Oh, Sudi, that faked hit, he's tried it several times to just get the defender to back away a little bit.
Well, that's hit the foot of Tiwari, who, without meaning to pick him out, has had a difficult night in the Indian defence. He's struggled to try and get them going with his stick, and been exposed a few times. So always that situation with an individual player like that is struggling as well. There's definitely questions about the wider defensive framework too. It's not a case of simply one individual performance being a problem for India. They've been collectively outplayed so far. Even the most passionate and partisan Indian hockey supporter watching couldn't really disagree with that assessment. From Germany chasing yet another, and they've won themselves a penalty corner. Nicely done by Mazi Fan on the spin, finds the foot, and it just goes from bad to worse for India at the moment.
Oh, Fan smiles after this touch. He picks, he goes to his back space off that right foot as he rolls away and moves it under his body for a big man, really, really mobile. And unfortunately, Tiwari, you were just speaking about him, Michael, he's not having a great evening here in Bhubaneswar, and that time he gets caught upright.
So, here in Odisha, Germany have a great chance that I would go so far to suggest if they score from this, they'll have 1 foot in the final. Nicholas Shipan to inject. 2 Castle set. They go to the left, Castle, and it's a good save by Pavan. Low to his right to deny Mazi Fan. Now India will try and clear, but just look at the sheer number of white shirts forward.
Oh, Mazifans has got that shot away on that penalty corner, but he's really led this German forward line, hasn't he? The physicality he's shown, his high leads, moving around nicely. Here, look at how high those hands are to create that lever. Goalkeeper offset to give himself a chance to make the save. There's real power on that flick. Led that front line. Here he does again, stepping out into the front of the press. A lot of the running is unrewarded.
Yeah, you think of Fun and then also Poljarik and Schipper, and they've had very good tournaments. Part of that German attacking unit. Defence, Ludwig and Barry do a lot of the unselfish work. It's a very good team though. It's that historically, more than necessarily individual stars, that has got Germany so much success at this level. And sometimes be difficult, particularly when you've got young players, to form a team structure that's that well organised. And it's something that German hockey's just managed so often and seemingly with such ease over the years. They've won it 4 times in a row, this competition, in 1982 in Kuala Lumpur, 85 in Vancouver, 89 in Ipoh, 93 in Barcelona. And for 3 editions in a row, they didn't manage to win it despite being in and around the podium, which in German hockey is something of a mini crisis given their standards. And then back on top in 2009 and 2013, winning in Malaysia and Singapore, and then New Delhi in India. Now, you would think they're marching towards a spot against Argentina in the final. That was almost a second magnificent goal on the reverse in this very game from Müller.
It's a great pull across the body, sees the space, now steps in and then chooses to get his hands around as he's preparing to shoot. That ball wasn't in the circle as he started his backswing. Really good use of space. So many of the world's best forwards will tell you that you prepare to shoot outside the D. You want the ball to be on the D line, not starting to swing when you cross the D line. It just gives you that little bit more space and time.
Right now, with just under 6 minutes to go, you would have to say that things stay as they are, and we do see a Germany-Argentina final by virtue of having won the head-to-head meeting between the teams in the pool stage last Friday, and then their excellent form through the competition. Germany would start the favourites, but can India find something with time running out? Not quite that time. Still haven't got rid of the keeper, which I know was something discussing earlier on in the quarter. Sanjay.
Well, there's a big hand in the back. I'm really surprised. I don't want people to be penalised, but I'm really surprised that Moritz Ludwig hasn't got penalised for that, because as he reached and he used his reach, but the balancing hand was very much on the back.
So fighting for it again.
That German defence from Ludwig again has danced for a big man to get his feet and his body out of the way.
Not giving anything away to Sanjay. It has been a ruthless performance. Maybe they can seal it and make it a 5-star one. 9-9, score of the first. Weaving his way through, doing well to keep possession. Poljarik helps it on. Olsmuller. Well tackled by Abhishek. Maybe India can launch forward. You surprised that with 4 minutes or so left, we still haven't seen that change we were discussing in relation to the keeper?
It's now a pointless change, genuinely. I don't think you won't see it at this moment in time, and maybe it's something that philosophically Graham really doesn't agree with, and that's absolutely fine. I think if you're going to do it to try and make a difference in this situation, as we talked about, you had to do it early. You had to be really bold at the start of a quarter and maybe think, if we can get 2 goals in this first 5, then we can take the goalkeeper off, we can go back to our standard play. The issue for me is that nothing has changed, and that's where I think from a team and a coaching perspective, if you look at it and think they weren't creating enough opportunity to win this game in the first 3 quarters, what has changed, or what has been the attempted changes? And I can't pick anything tactically or structurally that's been amended, and that's just a little bit disappointing.
Questions will be asked of Graham Reid, and it won't just be from our commentary box. The In press and hockey media, I'm sure we'll be picking apart the bones of what's gone wrong here, because it does seem pretty certain to say now that Germany are going to be advancing into the final, and it will be a third place playoff for India against France, who lost in the other semi-final. That match will be the precursor to Sunday night's final. Sunday's programme starts with 7th place playoff between Spain and Malaysia, who both lost today. Spain losing to Belgium in a shootout, the Netherlands beating Malaysia 9-3, and Belgium and Malaysia will face off, finish 5th in the second match of Sunday. 4 games coming up on Saturday as well for you tomorrow. USA against Egypt playoff for the right to finish 15th or 16th. Canada versus Chile for who will finish 13th. Pakistan against Poland, who will finish 11th. And South Africa against Korea, who will finish 9th. Green card for Germany at this stage seems more administrative than anything else in truth.
I think it was Holzmuller who picked it up for just a little bit of breakdown play through midfield, but you're right, Michael. I think it does just feel like a little bit of admin. Germany will hold this out, you would imagine. Talk about the tactical and structural strengths that they have as a relatively experienced junior unit, not senior unit necessarily, but they play with real awareness through the course of this. They set themselves up right from the very first 5 minutes with the tackles they were putting in, not giving India the running space that they would have liked.
Would you say they then start, as logic would seem to suggest, the deserved favourites against Argentina on Sunday night?
Sunday is another completely different game, I'm afraid. And you've got a situation where I didn't think Argentina would beat France, to be honest. I thought France were playing so well through this tournament. I was like, they will progress. So to see that win on the shootout is full credit to them. They deserved it, because I think France went into their shell and didn't take the opportunity that presented itself. So, but having watched it, yeah, to me, if I had to take a punt right now, yes, I think the Germans will be the favourite for that game.
Graham reads India to have their Junior World Cup journey end. Because of this German side being so impressive. Just over 30 seconds to go now. Going into consolation goal territory for India. Maybe they can get one. Dami, well, that is a fine strike. It's not going to change the result of this game, but that is a lovely goal from Dami Bobby Singh. He's lashed that into the top corner in frustration as much as anything else about the wider result. And it's India 2, Germany 4.
Well, that's where as a goalkeeper, you've just got to look at that and go, I'm going to go and get in the way. I've got to get off my goal mouth. There's too much time to swing. There's too much ball pace. In the end, unfortunately, German goalkeeper ended up on his backside, Brinkman inside his goal mouth, because Bobby hit through that so well. Dami Bobby Singh.
I've scored 2 high-quality goals, India, in terms of the finishes from Uttam Singh and Bobby Singh Dami. But it's been all Germany for the most part. Germany, the deserved winners. They've tactically dominated this match from start to finish. They've had more possession, more chances, and India can have no complaints at all. It is Germany who will meet Argentina in the final of this Odisha Hockey Men's Junior World Cup on Sunday. And India will be left to play beforehand on Sunday afternoon against France, the 2 losing semi-finalists fighting out to finish 3rd and on the podium. But what a moment for Valentin Altenberg's Germany. They have made it through to the final, and deservedly so.
Very much so. They started dominantly, really felt that they played very well in those first moments, and yes, they just continued that throughout all 4 quarters, really dominating each level.
So the full-time score here, India 2, Germany 4.